Welcome to another episode of Thanalysis podcast with your one and only beloved host, Thanasis Antetokounmpo. Man, today I have an amazing guest that you guys would never expect to be on my show, but he's going to teach me a lot of stuff about podcast, media, training, and I might become an ESPN analyst, maybe.
Okay.
In other words, maybe. We never
Okay.
know. And you know I got to give him the intro, right? So from Plainfield, New Jersey, wearing number 22, Mr. Blue Devil himself, as known as J Dubs, Mr. J Williams. Thank you. Can I get a
Thank you.
applause?
Thank you.
Thank you. Man, thank
What's
you.
up, TA? What's going on, man? I haven't heard that intro since the Chicago Bulls day, man.
Since the Chicago Bulls days. But you come a long way since the Chicago Bulls days, no?
Yeah, I've gotten shorter. What? I gotten older, man. You get shorter as you get older.
For some reason, I don't believe that. I just feel like it's an excuse to just say for the height, but maybe you gotta give me some scientific facts to back that.
Yeah,
Back that up.
6'3". That's the program height I go by.
Yeah, you
I'm
know,
like really 6'1.5". Let's be honest, 6'2" barely.
Texas, now are you wearing basketball shoes? Is definitely 6'2". No, I'm telling you,
because the soles be like this big. That's why.
it's crazy that you said that. You know, it does play a lot of difference. Like for all the kids that go into the draft combine and everything, guys, hands, height, speed plays a big role. So whatever you can do, take advantage of it before you come to the league, obviously. But let us know. But man, first of all, I wanted you to tell the audience your story, who you are. But I mean, I know who you are, and I don't want to say it. I want them to hear it from you. But at the same time, I want them to know, like, who are you, like, outside of the TV and the podcast, and who are you, your family? What did you bring to the table? What do you bring to people around you? You know, and
I'm a family dude, man. The past year has been crazy for me. You know, we'll talk about this, but I obviously, going through putting together and working with you guys on your doc, I had this moment where you guys were talking about your dad, and I lost my mom 10 months ago, right? My mom was my rock. My mom is like the spirit of the world. Like, similar to how I see you talk about your mom, like when you walked in, like I was like, yo, what's up, TA? You like, bing, 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 bang. You were bouncing all over the place.
Yes.
Like, that's my mom. Like, that's me sometimes.
Yeah.
So, like, I come from a family where my mom and my dad were together, but they weren't together. They operated better when they were apart. There was some issues that they had for me growing up. But I'm a family guy, man. My wife, I got 3 kids. I got my daughter, who's 5 years old, Amelia. I got my son, Zane, who's 2.5. I call him Baby Stephen Curry. He's a light-skinned killer in the house. And
Does he play basketball?
Well, I'm working on it. You know, there's a lot of pressure, though. A lot of pressure. Everybody's like, oh, your son. I'm like, let's calm down. Let's calm down. Yeah. But he may be a footballer, though. He may be a soccer guy. Well,
really?
Yeah, those contracts are a little bit bigger than the NBA.
They are, but you definitely have to base it to like body type and. But you know that the money does come in play. I remember like when I first started, I was amazing track. Like I was like phenomenal. Like when it came to track, but it was just. For me, it wasn't even the money. It was mostly like it was just a lonely sport. I didn't even want to be in the line just on my own, and just playing. But then team sports was always my kind of. It was better for me just to have camaraderie and the feeling we all win together and the championship pictures and everybody winning the trophy together. The medal is not bad. Being on the podium and everything. But I feel like team sports is more my.
Your thing. I love teams. Here's my dad. You ready? So I remember like in 3rd grade, we came in 3rd place. And like 3rd grade, right? I'm like, oh, I got 3rd place trophy. My dad's like, if you don't put that trophy down, but I came in 3rd place. He's like, yeah, but you didn't win. It was the first time. Now think about this for a second.
Yeah.
Here's my dad. It was the first time though in my life because I thought I had won. Like we had placed a medal.
Yeah.
Probably a controversial statement that I'm saying here, but like my dad was like, yo, but you didn't win. And it was, I don't know, I think it was the first time that I started to really get competitive. Because I was like, oh, yeah, I got a trophy, but we didn't win. I came in 3rd. My dad's like, yeah, like, what do you think it would feel like to be in 1st? And it was never bad, but it was kind of like, think about what it would be like to be in 1st. And I don't know, man, I got competitive. I'm I'm crazy competitive though in everything I do. So I got, between that, I got my daughter Penny, and who am I off the court, TA? I'm a thinker, man. I'm a thinker. I'm a practical joker. I'm a guy who likes to kick it with my kids. I'm a guy who likes to kick it with my boys. I love watching sports, and I love spending time with people that make me laugh. Like I had like a lot of crazy, like when I meet a comedian, like, you were asking me off air about like Cat Williams, right? Like I played basketball with Cat Williams one time, and Cat would always like wave me off. I'm like, Cat.
You've played basketball with him?
Yeah. Cat can hoop.
He can play?
Cat can hoop.
I knew it. Because I saw some
Cat can
videos.
hoop. And Cat's fast.
I knew it because I saw some videos. I've been following, I've been following for so many years, and he, people know him like all around the world, like worldwide. And it was crazy that I was looking at it. I was like, he's good. Like he can run. He can play. I think he can play basketball. And I saw him in a video. I was like,
he can go. He can go. Now look, I'm not trying to get into all the Steve Harvey stuff and all that. Like they can keep that over there.
Yeah.
But like, I like people like that, like where it's jokes, but also they can be serious. I guess the word is range. Like you got range. Like it can go from like a serious topic to like a comical topic. It can go to like something soft. It's like all these different aspects, man.
Yes. You said something about the documentary before. You talk about our documentary. Obviously, first of all, I want to say thank you, man. You guys did an amazing job, and hopefully, when you guys get to see it out in Amazon, let us know what you think. But like,
you guys did an amazing job. You guys did it.
We tried as much as we can because as much as we have social media and all these things, this is why I started the podcast as well, so I can learn and people can learn more about me as well, and and who I am and how the way I think about the world. But at the same time, like it's hard to do documentaries, man. It's not easy. Like the Disney thing was different. Like it became a movie based on our life, but this just really like come in and you have to sit down. You gotta like had to like for the first time publicly address like my dad and just me passing what he meant to us, and certain things that have happened. Like it's not easy, and it's not like things we feel like doing. We're more spontaneous. Like I'm one of those dudes that I'm a battery. Like I'm like whoever is next to me is
battery pack. Go.
Yeah. He feels positive and I'm spontaneous. Like if I don't like something, I would right away say it. But I don't like sitting down and then I gotta talk about this, like I don't like that at all. So.
But the beautiful part though, like I think I kind of felt this as a player. Like when you're a hooper and you play in the league. Yes. There's levels to everything, but it's like, I don't know. Have you ever thought about like how rarefied of air that you live in? You know what I mean? Like, I got a chance. It's like when people are like, oh, well, you didn't play for 15 years. I'm like, yeah, but I got a chance to do something less than .001. Oh, people said some crazy things to me. It's one of the reasons I have a hard time sometimes on TV holding my tongue, because I don't think people recognize how hard it is to achieve what we've been able to do.
If you knew what people have gone, like, how can you criticize somebody for having one of the best jobs in the world? It's mind blowing to me. But at the same time, who are we to not think we will be criticized and we will be, because we have to be really arrogant to think like I'm perfect. Like no, I'm not perfect. Obviously, and you have to embrace that. But at the same time, like bro, I have one of the best jobs in the world. Why? Like instead of looking at that and say like, bro, this guy is, he's doing his best, he's doing whatever he can. But going back to the doc, I want to interrupt you. Going back to the doc, what would be the name of your documentary for years to come now?
Oh, I already wrote a book about it. It's probably Life Is Not an Accident, man. Because I obviously my motorcycle accident and like
gotta go. By the way, you gotta go cop that. Yeah. Go get the book.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say no spoilers or anything. Go get it. It's worth it.
It'll probably be that. But like I believe like I'm supposed to be where I'm at right now. Like, and I think one of the things, real quick back to the doc, yes, because this is why I wrote a book. Ready? Yes. Same reason you had a podcast. Yes. When you start talking to a lot of people, right? Like being here in Milwaukee with you, like every time we came here from Chicago, I was like, yo, Milwaukee's a real hardcore blue collar town. Like it's like you gotta bring your lunch pail, you gotta bring your lunch hat. They going to work, coming out with dirt in your finger. It's real, right? And I think sometimes when you play like at a school like Duke or when you play for the Milwaukee Bucks and you win a championship, you almost lose a little bit because people start looking up to you. They lose the ability to relate to you because they don't know what that world's like, right? Like, I don't know. Is that making sense? Like in a way,
it does make sense because at the same time you gotta understand like people look for that. People look look up to, and at the same time is that without you knowing, you just. Because you're living your dream and you're living what you're doing, you just become that, and you've become that for like thousands and millions of people. Like for me as well, like see a guy like you and saying like, hey, I hope one day. Like I thought about this last year when in my first season I was like playing. Oh, I wish I could get Jay Williams in the podcast, get some of those guys to tell me what is the media world, and learn more about this story and understand who they are.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like same way. We're on the same page with that. It's like, we were talking during dinner about, Goran Dragic having his game, I think, over in Slovenia, right? And all you guys are going. I was like, yo, I kind of want to go. And like, but think about who all the athletes in that room would be. If that's you, GA, Luka,
a lot of people,
Joker, right? And all y'all be kicking it, hanging out, right? Same way like when MJ was like, yo, we're going to go play golf. I'm like, man, I'm not trying to bet $100,000 a hole with you, right? But like, that's normal to him and it's normal to me because I'm used to being around guys like that. But I think when you start a podcast or when you write a book, all of a sudden it's like, hold on, man. Like I almost died. Like I went through depression. You know how many people are going through depression? You know how many people, like you're like, yo, I got a pod. I'm like, that's courageous to get up there and like, I'm not sure if I can do it, but now you're doing it. That's what normal people are going through. So like when you write a story, when you think about how you're narrating a story, like, are you building bridges to connect with people?
Yes,
or are you trying to tell like, hey, I'm different? Some people like, I'm different. Like, all right, cool. You're different. But every time I've seen you guys or I've heard people talk about you guys, I'm like, no, they bleed like me. They're human. They're people.
We're all the same. That the only difference is, with everybody in the building, it's just the journey you take. I guarantee you, we're all the same. Everybody goes through hardship. Everybody has whatever they be going on and off the court, like, and mentally and physically too. You see, what's going on with guys, but the most important thing is like we're all the same. And again, some people can take criticism, some people can't. Like to me,
can you take criticism?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What kind of criticism?
Yeah.
Like,
so tell me.
Here's what gets me. You ready?
Okay.
This word, bum. Yo, when people were like, they're like, oh, he's a bum. I'm like. Okay. He's not a bum. Like the 14th dude on the roster is not a bum. You may think he's not like everybody else, but he ain't a bum.
Okay. First of all, if every team had a superstar, if everybody was a superstar, there would be no need for nobody. Exactly. If everybody was a superstar.
Exactly.
That's one. Second of all, anybody who's been around me and anybody who I've shook their hands, they've seen who I am as a person, know exactly what I bring to the table, on and off the court. That's one. But the one thing I would say is that it would be so arrogant for me not to think that people won't think this way. It's arrogant for me to. It's arrogant because you got to realize like we're doing something special, man. We're just here in Milwaukee and we're trying our best, and it's a small city, and we actually are not the normal type of way of how things should be.
Yeah.
Saying like, oh, I'm going to the big city. Oh, I'm going to. And if you notice stuff of like, nobody said I was a bum when I played, when I won a championship. Nobody said, of course, nobody said I was a bum when I was playing. But all of a sudden it became when you don't do what people want you to do. Mm-hmm. And what that means says like when you don't say like, I'm move around or I'm going to follow the lights or I'm going to like, when you don't do what people want you to do, it becomes saying like, hey, mind you, I've never said nothing bad about anybody, ever.
Well, that's my point, though,
Tim. I know, but it's okay. It's okay.
I know, but it's not even about you. It's more about it's like about the insult overall. It's like, yo, we got people out there. Yeah. When I say we, like media has people out there really thinking that Anthony Davis ain't him.
It's
crazy, like right. And if
bullshit.
any cat stepped on the floor and you saw that alien, you'd be like, yo, I got. But like there are dudes out there in the street like, oh man, that dude, he's soft. He can't. Ain't never taken a hit from somebody in the league.
And you will continue in this podcast. There will never be a slander for any type of player, for who's in the NBA or as an athlete. There's guys who were born to do this. It's not there by mistake. They were born to do this. So to come out here and to talk to about any other player without it, first of all, to talk like it's like, you know, the thing that gets me sometimes is like they would talk about him like, oh, he's the next door guy. Like, bro, he's not. It's certain people who you play with and certain people who have built their legacy in this league. And forget about legacy. Think you want to honest answer about any other player, ask the people around them, ask their teammates, ask their families, and see what they mean to them. What they mean to them. And if you knew what they mean to them, and if you have empathy, because my empathy is in a very, very high level. I'm very empathetic to people. And the empathetic, what do I mean by that? I'm not saying just nice and like, oh, I mean like have empathy and put your shoes into his and say like, wow, what if that was me? What if that was my brother? What would I do? Guess what? You would go over the top. Guess what? If it was my brother and somebody said this about my brother, you guys have brothers, you have brothers and sisters, you have dad and a mom, everybody. But this happens when people don't want to relate. And at the same time, I do understand that it's nobody remembers what you've done. It's always what you do and you keep doing what you do. And it's valid. It's sports, man. That's how what happened yesterday is yesterday. What happened today.
Exactly right. Yeah.
You know? So to what you're saying, like, bro, you're amazing. Do you understand how many people go through something and all of a sudden they decide and they say like, well, that's it for me.
Oh, I hear you on that.
I don't have no, for way less. I've seen people for way less say, oh, I'm done. I can't. I'm one of those people that you have 1 hour with me, conversation, you think you can conquer the world. I promise you. But this is one of those things that I know and I believe, and that's why I did the podcast. I wanted to bring this out there. I wanted to bring the people who are listening. When they listen to this podcast, believe like I can do anything I want to do. I put my mind to. But going back to, I'm sorry.
No. I love that. It's and that's what it should be, though. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you should go out and try to take over the world and be confident in yourself.
Yes.
It's just being involved in media like for 18 years now, TA.
18 years.
Like 18 years, man. And it's like you get a chance to see like that true persona of somebody. Like we were at dinner, right? Mm-hmm. I can already tell you what's going to happen this week. Like we're sitting in Milwaukee on a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Nick Saban, the head coach of Alabama, one of the greatest coaches to ever live,
yes,
just retired today. I can tell you what the narrative is going to be on TV for the next 2 days. You ready? The narrative is going to be who's going to be the next head coach at Alabama, and then who's the next Nick Saban. You're going to see that all over TV tomorrow and the next day, right? Because it's like, oh, people don't want to hear about how great Nick Saban is. It's about what's next. Right? It's about what's next. And then what you start doing is you start dragging different names into it. Oh, would Jim Harbaugh ever leave Michigan to go to be a head coach at Alabama? Or, Hugh Freeze just got down on Alabama. Auburn, would he leave to go to Alabama? Or what does this mean for the rivalry? So you learn, like, they teach you how to tie all these narratives in and just keep people on this hamster wheel instead of actually talking about, like, how did Nick Saban actually change people's lives? Like, what does coaching really mean? Like, so you get a chance to spin narratives now, and the people who are good at it, they do it all the time. So you kind of forget about how incredibly special these people are that we're actually talking about, because they're also getting clicks on it. And clicks get you paid money.
Clicks.
And people learn how to talk through clicks and through sound bites. You don't hear long form conversations anymore. You hear cats go on TV and talk in sound bites because they know it's going to be cut up through social media.
I'm sorry. Could you elaborate? Can you explain that to me? And when you mean sound bites, what do you mean?
So here's how they school you on TV, right? So give me a random topic, any topic, TA.
Now you just said football. Let's talk about like the Green Bay Packers. Go.
Okay, Green Bay Packers. You ready?
Yes. It's crazy that you know every sport, by the way. It's crazy that
you just talk sports all day long, right?
Go.
So here's how they would train you to do TV, okay? So most people, when they engage in the conversation, you start talking about the head coach, you start talking about the defense, you start talking about where the defense was 2 years ago after losing Aaron Rodgers and then bringing in Jordan Love and what all the details were, right? You kind of ease into the conversation and it builds. Oh, hell no, that's not TV. Here's TV. Jordan Love will never be Aaron Rodgers. So they teach you that when you open up a newspaper or when you're scrolling on social media, what stops you? Headlines, right?
Dude,
so like when you open a newspaper, you're going like, oh man, there's all these different articles on. What's the headline that really what does that say?
By the way, he's been playing amazing, right? Am I off?
No, you on it. You on it.
Jordan Love, right? He's been playing
Yeah.
good. Okay,
but like I'm just saying, like, if this was 2 years ago,
no, yeah,
that's how you make a headline.
Now I understand what you mean.
I don't know if he'll ever be Aaron Rodgers, right? But I'm gonna hedge a bet in that moment in order to make headlines. And then it's like, boom, when you say Jordan Love will never be Aaron Rodgers, guess what that does, TA? They start distributing it. Boom, it's over here, it's over there, it's over here, it's over there. People write an article about it. Oh, Jay Will said this. Here are my thoughts. And they use it, media, to create media. And then all of a sudden it's like, I don't know if fucking Jordan Love is ever going to be Aaron Rodgers, but I said it. So all of a sudden it became like, do I get rewarded that way? In media, you do. Because then you have people come to your street like, man, I'll tell you, yo, you were wrong. You were wrong, I'm telling you. And like, they don't know if they're wrong or not. You don't know if you're wrong or not, but you got them talking.